She is the founder, managing director, and CEO Gambara Nigeria Limited and President Gambara Property and Investment Limited. She's also the President Amira Confectionery and the President Plum Clothing and Designs Nigeria Limited. Join me in welcoming Amina Zanna Ibrahim to today's program. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Haji Amina. It's nice to be here with you.
All right. Let's start quickly. You know, you're an entrepreneur. You started small. You started very, very small. And, you know, it's all over. You started what today is a very big company, Amira Yogurts, the real estate business, and your fashion house, all with 10,000 naira. You started with just 10,000 naira. You know, many want to know why you didn't go for the loans like every other person who wants to start big and go to a bank to collect a loan. Why did you decide to start that way?
Well, when I started, I wasn't thinking in terms of loan or anything, and I wasn't thinking big. I started small from the little I have, and over the years it has grown. And that is not to say that I don't take loan. Over the years, as the business needed it, not from the beginning, but when we wanted to expand, for example, at a point when we're going to the stores to supply and they were giving us conditions, you don't have a fridge, you cannot supply, and I needed like at least 300 fridges. I didn't have those funds, and I went to the bank, and the bank looked at me and they awarded the funds to buy those fridges, and we have paid back over the period allocated to us. So from the beginning, we didn't go for loan because we didn't need to. We had our own personal monies to start with. But as you grow along the way, when you go to a point where your funds cannot support the growth that you want to achieve, then you take loan, and I'm not an exception. We take loans to funds growth.
Yes, you were once a banker,
yes,
but left for entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Why? What prompted you to leave the bank, where everybody feels it's a high-paying job, to go start from the scratch?
Okay, leaving the bank wasn't my choice. When I got married, I was in the bank, and when I had a child, and then before my third child, my husband felt I should leave because I'm giving more time, a lot of time to my work, that I should quit. And I refused. I said, I'm not going to quit. What did I go to school for, and things like that. And I reported him to my dad, and my dad supported him that, oh, if your husband wants you to stop working, you must stop. But then he now gave my husband condition that, okay, you are now stopping her from banking. What if she gets bored along the years? Can you allow her to do business? Will you support her business? And he agreed, yes, I'm going to support her doing business. So when I got tired of being at home, actually I was a housewife for like 10 years. And then after 10 years, and I got tired and fed up, and I wanted to start my business. My husband really supported me because I have also supported and listened to him when he needed my support.
Okay. So how easy was it to start, you know, after 10 years of taking the seat to relax and all that?
Okay. I'm not a lazy person, and I'm somebody that is very active even when I was home. Like I was always cooking, cleaning, taking care of the house, or reading. So I wasn't 100% like doing nothing. So it wasn't a problem starting the business, and this is what I love to do. Business is one of the things that makes me happy. I mean, going out to do things, changing lives, supporting people, being productive, you know, and supporting myself is something that gives me immense pleasure and joy. And there's nothing I enjoy more than doing my business. So I don't need any motivation from anywhere. But, you know, I read a lot of books, and I think my studies, my books, my conferences, online studies has actually been a game changer in my life, because it has really guided me in so many ways, you know, to make me the person I am
today.
Yes,
all right.
I am today.
There's an interesting aspect people want to know. You're into the real estate business. You know, the real estate business, of course, is known for, you know, the men's world and all that. And you're another woman in the real estate business, you know. How easy has it been? How did you grow your passion for real estate?
Okay.
Being another woman.
Okay. Me being in real estate is accidental, really. You know, I was doing my yogurt, and at a point I felt I needed a factory, and I went to look for land to build a factory. So when the allocation came, it came under accelerated development under the FI regime. So they gave us time. They said, you have to build this place within 6 months. If you don't commence
a factory within 6 months.
Yes, they said we have to start, go to site within 3 months of acceptance, finish within 6 months, or go to some certain level, otherwise they will revoke the land. So I didn't have a choice, and they also gave me commercial land instead of the industrial land. So I had to go to work, look for funds to start. Then when I started, you know, it wasn't easy coming up with money to build such, and it has to be 4 floors. It's a very gigantic project. I didn't have the money. I went there, here, and the little funds for the businesses went into the building. And at a point, I was not even able to pay my staff. And at that point where we have gone to the 4th floor, and no funds came in, despite my effort to look for funds here and there. I didn't consider loan that time. It didn't even occur to me. So at the 4th level, follow level, one of my engineers came to say, Aja, this is your property. If you sell it, you're going to make a lot of money. I didn't believe him. I said, okay, bring the money now, because I'm not even producing my yogurt now. I'm kind of stocked. I don't know what to do. And they brought a buyer who paid hundreds of millions for that property. So it made everything, it changed everything for us, because it now affords us to build the factory. It also affords us to buy all the things we needed for the yogurt production, and at the same time, you know, gave me a lot of comfort and leverages to do a lot of things I wanted to do, travels and all of that. And I said, oh, how come I didn't even think of doing this? I said I must continue this project. So some part of the money that we used, proceeds from the sale of that property, went into me acquiring another land, where I now
so that's
built 6 units. Oh. Yes, 6 units of residential units now, 6 units of 4-bedroom residential. And then we sold it again, and I just repeated the process all these years from that. So it wasn't a planned thing, you know. If not because of this challenge of lack of funds for me to sell, I might not have thought of entering the business. But it is a business that is very, very lucrative, and I thought it can be very challenging too, because it's very capital intensive. And in terms of selling too, sometimes you get hooked maybe for years and you don't make sales. These are experiences that we've gone through. But this is something that I can tell you that is one of the best businesses that I am.
So how do we encourage more northern women to take advantage of this lucrative industry just lying idle there? Northern women. Note I said northern women.
Okay, yeah, northern women can, if they want to, you know, you don't just call people into a particular business because it is lucrative, unless that's what they want to do. And there's so many things in the world to do. It doesn't have to be real estate. Of course, if you want to be in real estate, you are interested, then it's something that you can do, because I did not start with land. I didn't have the land. I did not have the capital when I started. And at the end of the day, I had all of those things. And today is even easier because you don't even need allocation to start, because you can do partnership. You can partner with somebody that has a land and then bring your funds and build. So it's a lot easier now than even the time I started.
Okay. How would you rate your success, starting from a humble beginning, 10K for yogurt? Now the yogurt is now a big factory. You are in real estate, you're in the clothing line and all that. Would you say what you set out to achieve when you decided to be an entrepreneur, you've achieved that? And how would you rate what success is to you now?
Well, I have exceeded my expectation when I started, because when I started on that unconscious level. I was not being intentional. I wasn't deliberate. I just wanted to do my business. But along the way, in the course of doing the businesses, a lot of doors opened. A lot of opportunities came in. A lot of learnings, because I read a lot. I read books. And when you read books, magic happens.
Books, yes.
Magic happens. A lot of things happen. So it now gives me bigger goals. You aspire bigger because you now know better. So I cannot say that all the things I want to achieve for now I have achieved them. Well, I have come a long way, and I'm in the process. I'm taking it step by step. Every time I achieve one goal, you go ahead to the next one. Yes. So the goal is not static, but generally I can say that we are very successful because we always set goals for everything that we want to do in the business. We have set goals for sales. We have set goals for profits, margin, growth margin, territories we want to cover. So at each of those milestones, when we achieve them, we call ourselves, we are very successful, and then we go ahead and put even a bigger target again, bigger goals, All
right.
Yeah.
We'll be taking a short break, and when we return, Amina will be talking us about why it's important to see women succeed as entrepreneurs.
That's great. Good to see you.
Welcome back. You are the president of the Network of Entrepreneurial Women. How important is it to see women succeed as entrepreneurs?
Okay, yeah. I was the chairperson of New Abuja chapter, and my tenure is over, so okay. I'm officially not the president, but I still work under the scene, to encourage women to be the best that they can be. The importance of educating or encouraging women cannot be overemphasized. When you educate a woman, you educate the nation. And we have successful entrepreneur women, then they translate that to the home too. In the home front, they support the family, they support the kids, and especially not just the financial support. You're also talking about emotional support. You are now bringing up kids that are conscious, that are purpose-driven, that know what they want to do, and then have the confidence to go out there and achieve them. And you can only have those, it gives a better you are building a better generation by empowering women.
Okay.
Yes.
Over the years, starting from one company and today handling 4 to 5 different companies, would you say women have been some of your greatest support system? Because we are in a society where people say women don't support women. So starting from 1 to 5, being the president or the CEO of any of these companies, how would you say women have fared so far in playing a huge support in your...
Okay. I don't believe that women are women's enemies. I feel that women are good support. Starting with my grandmom as a child, she's my best inspiration, and I see what she has inspired me in a lot of ways, because the confidence that she has, the way she does her things, these are things I emulate. My mom too. Like my reading habit is from my mom. She likes reading a lot. I mean, I have 2 moms: the mom that gave birth to me and the one that brought me up. The mom that gave birth to me is no more, but the one that brought me up has taught me a lot of things that today, taking care of the family, reading and all of that, and those are things that are priceless for me, and they have been very supportive. Apart from that, I have sisters, I have friends, I have aunties and daughters. All of them have been very immense support. They have been very supportive. I also have friends in the real estate. I have friends, women in the entrepreneurship, in new, and all of those networks. They have been a great support in so many ways. I cannot say directly in terms of maybe educating and being supportive on those levels, but generally, meaning like making my company what it is, you cannot attribute it directly to like women in those networks, because before I joined the network, I had my business. So the joining those networks came in as when I was at lowest points. When you were growing, and at a point things start crashing down and things are not going the way you want to go. You sit down and evaluate yourself. What is going wrong? What am I not doing right? So, and those are the things that make me go out and look for networks of where women are and what they are doing to make their business successful. So the business, I have gone to my highest points before I joined those networks. So, but the points where those networks have helped me, even though financially and growing my business, I was up there, my confidence level, maybe ability to talk in public, was influenced by my joining those networks greatly. My leadership skills, talking to women, bringing people to help them, to teach them what I know. I wouldn't have done it without those networks, because I was in my own corner doing my business and making money, but I wasn't directly impacting other women. But joining those networks allowed me to come out, talk to women, and have even allowed me to experiences. And my phobia for speaking and talking in public is kind of diminishing now. It's still there sometimes, but it has really gone down.
It doesn't seem that way.
It has really, because of these networks.
Okay. Now you've spoken about rising from your humble beginning to where you are today. As a northern woman, what are some of the barriers you think have hindered most northern women from achieving what they dream for themselves?
I think cultural barriers, there's attitudes, there's beliefs, sometimes they are associated with religion, but I know that religion does not forbid women from doing any business, because the wife of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ummuna Khadija, she was one of the greatest women in businesses that were very wealthy, and her husband Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was empowered by her wealth. You know, he was running the business for her after. So there's no way in the Quran or Hadith that says business should not, women should not go out and do their businesses. But the way some people, the way they interpret the religion too, you know, and in certain cultures too, and our culture, women are expected to stay at home and look after the children, which is a good thing to do that, if that's what the woman wants to do. But if you want to do your business, then I think you should go out there, because nobody is stopping you. But because it has been drummed into our heads that we're expected to just look after the home, and then if you now unconditionally believe that, you know, and accept it, then it becomes your reality. And even if you want to do it, your auntie here, your friend here, your husband, they try to stop you. And if you consent to it, most people will consent to it, because I would have also consented to it, because if I hadn't taken my husband to my dad concerning my business and something happened, I might not have that's from the beginning. Then later, when I started studying and know my rights and, you know, responsibilities, I now know that if I believe in something and I really want to do that thing, and I know that it is right, no one can stop me doing that thing. But a lot of women, because of that fear, you know, the fear that maybe people will talk about them, gossip about them, or lose their husbands, you know, that stops them. You know,
well, in your case, you had a very supportive.
What I'm saying is that mine is not an absence of fear, but a mastery of that fear, you know, and it's a decision that you have to make, you know. If business is what you want to do, business is not the ultimate in life, you know. I can still decide to be a homekeeper is no less. The person that is out there doing their businesses, they are also no less. It just depends. It's a matter of choice. And if you want to decide, you decide that you want to be a homekeeper, it's very good. By all means, it's good. And you can go ahead. But if you want to do business and those things should stop you, then you should have a rethink. But if you really have that fear, you know, whatever you fear, those fears, if you don't learn to overcome them or master it, then it becomes your reality as well. So those are the things.
So what you've just said so far is that you overcame some of the notions, you know.
Yeah, I overcame some of the notions. I happen to be a very lucky. I have a supportive husband. I have a supportive husband, though sometimes they influence him. You know, we have cases where, not because he wants to complain about maybe the time you're coming home, you're coming late from home, or you're working in the house when you are supposed to give your time to the family while right inside the house. I'll give you a typical example, like, you know, during our formative years, when I didn't have my accountant, and I was the accountant and the production manager and the salesperson for my company, when I finish from the factory and I come back home, especially towards the end of the month, I sit down to account for all the records, sales, everything, for the monthly record, P&L account, balance sheets, records, every record. I used to do it. So after Maghrib, after Isha, when everybody is seated watching TV or having the family time, I'm there on my table.
It's your computer?
I was using my books, not computer then.
Oh.
You know, my
real books.
Yes. So, you know that as I was doing that, everybody would go to bed and leave me alone. And the next thing I would see that people coming out from masjid, they have prayed as Fajr. That means I was, from that time, sitting down on my table and I'm doing my calculations.
Till the next morning.
Till the next morning. You know, he has the right to complain. It's extreme, isn't it?
Yes.
So, he has been very supportive, not complaining. But at a point, of course instead of reports me
when you stay from Isha to Fajr, that's extensive.
You know, it's too much.
So what
he's
would you
been
say
supportive.
has been your sacrifice from your early years to where you are today?
Okay. Sacrifice, like the time I take doing those things. Though me, I don't feel it as a burden or anything. I enjoy it. Even if I do TDB, doing my business, I don't feel bad. I just feel like it's like having fun too. I'm having fun doing those things, right? But the sacrifice is the fact that I'm supposed to give time to the children at that time, maybe.
So we have just some minutes to go. I would like you to talk about some of the advice you'd like to give to the young northern woman who aspires to be a CEO of various companies just like yourself.
Okay. The northern woman, what I would tell them is, number one, it's not wrong to be a housewife. If that's what you want to do, it's good. You are doing something in it. But if you really want to do your business, then no one should stop you. No one should, because Dean has not stopped you. You know, it is Dean did not say you should not do your business. But of course, we all have our own limits and limitations. So number two is to study. Study. Study means read books. Read books, especially books that relate to what you do. You know, you have to at least give 5 minutes every day to learn about what you're doing. You want to get to the 1% of what you of your industry, for example, then you must embrace a lifelong studies. If you don't want to read books, you can. This is a lot easier now. You can go on YouTube, on Google to study. You know, if you don't even want to read, you can just listen. You know, there are so many resources out there to help you develop you as a human being, develop your potential, and also develop you in your line of business. All the types of leadership skills, communication skills, your industry skills, they are all there for you to study, and that makes you a better person. It gives you the confidence to face anything that comes your way. And whatever, the other thing I want to say is, whatever you believe in and you know that is right for you to do, people will believe in it over time. You know, people will learn to respect what you believe in and respect. So don't give up because somebody says you shouldn't, you know. Yeah. Somebody doesn't want you to do it unless you don't want to do it. But at the same time, I'm not saying that if you are very much afraid, then don't do what you are too much afraid of. First of all, learn to overcome that fear first.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
In my own case, I learned to master fear, you know.
All right.
And
all right. Thank you very much. Thank you for being on the show. It's been some minutes of interaction with Amina Zanna Ibrahim, and we've heard all what she has. She started from a humble beginning. I'm going to end the program with a quote. Don't worry about being successful, but work towards being significant, and the success will naturally flow. This is a quote from Oprah Winfrey. Thank you for joining us on our program today. It was a pleasure having you. And thank you for joining us on the show, viewers. Until next week, when we bring you another interesting guest, I remain your host, Amina Hassan. Please stay safe and remain blessed.